Alright, so what we're going to be doing for this enrichment activity is be creating a pattern that could be used in an illustration, it could be used in textile, it could be used for a poster board, but I'm going to show you how to do that with a pen tool. So it's not going to be too complicated, but it is a great activity to do if you're trying to further your knowledge of your pen tools. So you're going to select the pen tool. It's not super important that you have a lot of things going on with your layers for this. You could probably put most of the things on one layer, but like I said, it's always easier if you do separate these things. But it's an enrichment activity. It's not going to be super in-depth to where you're not going to be able to see the differences between them. Make sure that your fill is not on. That's super important. And then your stroke is just at one point, and black's okay to start. Okay, so first thing you're going to do is you're going to start to create your shape using the pen tool. Okay, your shape could be geometric, it could be organic. So a geometric shape would be something like this that has straight lines and that goes all the way around. Okay, an organic shape would be one that had some curves to it and that was more maybe free form. And there you go. That's more of an organic shape. You decide what works best for you. I like the organic shape, so I'm going to select my geometric shape and delete it. And I'm going to be working with this shape. I think this is a great shape to be using. We're going to be creating patterns with that. So we're going to be repeating this shape, but we're going to be using different color and different fill options to create an interesting pattern. So I have it selected, and I'm going to go to my fill options. I'm going to go to my swatch libraries, and I'm actually go in patterns. I think patterns here have a lot of great options, and I'm going to just explore them. You should still be exploring your fill options to see what is out there, because we're trying to create patterns, so this is probably the place to be. And people that are actually out there creating textiles definitely use Illustrator, which is another career option for the graphic arts. Alright, I'm not going to be too picky for the sake of time, and I'm going to click that. Alright, so I'm going to arrange it closer to the edge. With it selected, I also can change the stroke. Now, this is up to you. You definitely have to have a fill. I'm going to make my stroke line a little bit larger just so that you can actually see the graphic colors of this, because I really think that that's a really cool graphic color. And you want to go to edge. Remember, if it gets cut off, that's okay, because we're just going to be duplicating this. So I have this one. I'm going to copy and paste it. So Control C, Control V, and I paste it. It could be on the same layer. It's really up to you how you like to work. And I'm going to select it and move it over here. Okay, so a pattern usually will start off with the next one right next to it. So just kind of getting it close next to that one and making sure it's on the same line, because that's going to be really important. And for this one, what I'm going to do is select it and just change the fill. So I'm going to go to a different fill, see what else we have here, and find something that kind of pairs with it. And because, you know, black's a neutral color, there's probably a lot of things that are going to work just fine. So I'm going to go through these and see what works good for me. And not going to be too picky. I'm going to find one that I think is interesting. I'm trying to find one with some polka dots in it too, to kind of mimic what's going on. I can actually like that one. So I'm actually going to stick with this one. That one's fine for me. I'm going to keep the stroke line the same. That's what I prefer for this one. I'm going to go back to this guy. I'm going to Control Copy it and Control V, and I'm just going to place it behind this one to create a pattern. So it goes polka dot, wavy line, polka dot. So I'm creating my pattern. Now, you don't have to overthink this. So what you can do is, if you like this line and you want to create a pattern from it, you're going to select the entire row. You're going to Control Copy, Control V. Now, because we only print what's on our artboard, we can just move it around. Control V again. See, we might have to delete this one now, which we easily can, and then control copy this one. I'm sorry, not control copy, just select it and move it. To start to create your pattern. And then you can, just like this, you can keep going. If you're someone who likes to work a little cleaner, you can go back and select these and you can cut them out. That's no problem. And then you're going to keep going to fill in this pattern. So I'm going to keep going. If you understand some of the basics, you are going to put a background color in. So if you're not sure how to do that, you might have to go through with this video to see. But I'm going to keep copying these because I'm just going to copy this guy. And Control V and drag them down, because that is the simplest way. I don't want you to rush through this. If you do finish early, I want you to try one with a geometric shape to kind of see what that one might look like. And I need another row that looks like this. I'm going to select it. And I'm going to bring it down to here. Okay, so now I kind of have this really, really interesting pattern created. I'm going to make a new layer. I'm going to bring this layer below this layer, and I'm going to create a shape using the rectangle tool that is going to span the entire page, and I'm going to change the fill to a color that I think works really well with this pattern. So this part I'm just going to kind of play around with. This is where you should probably start thinking about things that we learned in class, like color theory, and how colors work really well together and which ones don't. You don't want things to be too close, you might not see your patterns. And I'm also finding out that this one has an opacity to it. So that's kind of something that you do need to be paying attention to. And I really like this one. It's a nice cool color scheme. And I'm going to pull that back up and select it. And now I've created an interesting pattern using the pen tool, using organic shapes. So if you do finish this quickly, because it only take me 7 minutes, it should take you a little bit longer to kind of go through it, because you should be a little bit more picky with what you're choosing. You're going to file, print this out, take a look at it, and think about how you'd use this in the everyday world. So when you do finish, I want you to really think like, is this a textile for for clothing? Is it a poster board background? What is it? Where is it going to be? Because as an artist, you guys should be kind of thinking about where this stuff's going to go. So I'm just going to go to File, Print. You're going to go to Color 506, and I'm going to print it out. And that's how you can kind of see how it looks. And alright, and that's how you create a pattern using the pen tool in Illustrator.